Vampire Productions.
Underneath the bridge, top is sprung a leak, and the animals are trapped.
Written by Kurt Cobain, Something in the Way was released on Nirvana's 1991 album Nevermind. The 3-minute, 52-second song was track 12, the final track on the album. A quiet and mournful end to an album that boasted such rock anthems as Smells Like Teen Spirit, Come As You Are, and Bloom, and Lithium. The song has said to have been written about a time when Cobain was supposedly homeless and slept underneath a bridge in his hometown of Aberdeen, Washington. However, some have pointed out that if Cobain had really spent nights sleeping underneath that bridge, he would have been in danger of being swept away by the high tide waters of the Wishkah River. It is true that Cobain was indeed homeless as a teenager, but he spent most of this time sleeping at the houses of his friends. He also allegedly slept in waiting rooms of hospitals in the town. However, Cobain did spend time underneath that bridge. In the 2001 biography, Heavier Than Heaven, both Novoselic and Kurt's sister, Kim Cobain, confirmed that while it was unlikely that Kurt slept there, it was a popular recreation area for local teenagers, probably including Kurt. Cobain himself suggested that the song wasn't necessarily autobiographical. He said that the song was like, if I was living under the bridge and I was dying, if I was sick and I couldn't move and I was a total street person. That was kind of the fantasy of it. Cobain also claimed that he used to fish from the Wishkah River, which may have inspired the lyric, "It's okay to eat fish, 'cause they don't have any feelings." The song was recorded by Butch Vig in May of 1991 at Sound City Studios in Van Nuys, California. According to Vig, Cobain had originally wanted to record the song with a full band, but when initial attempts at this were unsuccessful, Cobain sat on a couch in the control room and played the song for Vig on acoustic guitar to show him how he thought it should sound. Vig recalls, he basically said, "It needs to sound like this." He laid on his back and he started playing the guitar, and he was barely singing. It was coming out almost a whisper. And I was like, okay, stop.
And I quick grabbed a couple mics and plugged them in. I unplugged the phone, I turned the fans off on the tape machine, and I literally held my breath for 3 minutes while he sang it. I mean, it was so quiet, and yet it was so powerful. And that was the core of the track.
As they went back and overdubbed, adding layers to the song, it was difficult for Dave and Chris to get their timing with their drums and bass, as there was no click track being used, so it made it hard for the producer, Butch Vig, to get the timing of the song. But it was something that Vig would nail down, sometimes punching in bar by bar with the band to get the timing right. Vig also stated, when Grohl was recording the drums, Cobain was saying, "Quieter, quieter," as it is in Grohl's nature to hit hard, but he played it very mellow, very understated. And they recorded in Studio B at Sound City, which is a dead dry room compared to the big live room. Novoselic would have trouble tuning his bass to Cobain's guitar. The guitar had only 5 nylon guitar strings and Cobain had never tuned it. Kurt also added harmonies to the chorus, giving the song a full, rounded sound. On the final day of the Nevermind sessions, Kurt Canning added cello to the recording, although he too had difficulties tuning to Cobain's guitar. In the end, Vig said, "The track is a little out of tune, but that gives it that eeriness. It gives it a lot of character." The song is compiled of 2 verses and 2 choruses, with the lyrics speaking of isolation and loneliness, with the lines, "And the animals I've trapped have all become my pets." So not talking so much about human company, but having the company of pets and animals. "And I'm living off of grass and the drippings from the ceiling." So this person in the song has clearly isolated themselves from human beings at this point, so much so that they clearly don't have any food or water, and are literally surviving off of the surroundings that are around them. Things like grass and drops of water, as Cobain explains here. So there goes that isolation in the song, and the chorus just repeating the line, "something in the way," several times over. So what is Cobain talking about here, with something being in his way? And in the way of what exactly? There's something in the way of what he wants to do, or say, or how he feels. Maybe it's down those lines. Only Kurt would know for sure about what he was writing about in this song. The song appears in the 2005 movie Jarhead, which was directed by Sam Mendes. According to Universal Pictures president of film music, Kathy Nelson, the director Mendes had insisted on the song, but a then ongoing dispute between Cobain's widow, Courtney Love, and surviving Nirvana members had made the licensing of Nirvana songs difficult at the time. However, Love did allow the song's use in the movie due to being a huge fan of Mendes and actor Peter Sarsgaard. That's why it's probably the first Nirvana song you've heard in a movie, the Universal Pictures president said. So we have discovered that Something in the Way is a song about isolation and loneliness, a track that has a touch of sorrow attached to it, you would have to say. On an album full of loud, blockbuster, rock hits and #1 charting singles, comes this quiet song played on an old 5-string acoustic guitar, a song that poignantly closes out the album. It just shows you the talent and quality of Cobain's musicianship. For him to be able to pull off a song such as this and put it on an album like Nevermind, the blockbuster album, and have it work. I mean, it just works perfectly. It fits right in. With its haunting, deep and meaningful tone, Cobain made Something in the Way the perfect way to close out the album.
Something in the way. Something